to welcome the participants and many joined us here at home, joining us online. And it's faces, familiar faces in the audience. 16th forum is an evidence of the fact that our forum is one of the main venues and platforms that shape the agenda of the digital development. We are here to discuss the future of the internet, both in Russia and across the world. Well, it's the date is not by chance. So the 7th of April of 2026. The IANA database included the cctld.ru in its database. So we're celebrating the 32nd birthday of the domain zone. So the domain zone is celebrating its 32nd anniversary, and in 2004 we could hardly imagine the scale. Right now we have registered over 6,120,000 domain names. The growth rates amounted to 4% just in the past year alone, while the domain industry across the world demonstrated a growth rate of 2.2% in 2025. In 2026, the .ru domain set another record. It has become the fourth largest domain domain zone. Before that, we were the fifth largest domain zone. Now we're the fourth largest domain zone. The geography is quite showing, it goes without saying that the greatest number of domains have been registered in Moscow and the Moscow region. We are talking about 36% of all the registrations. That's 2.2 million domain names. However, the regions demonstrated the highest growth rates. For instance, the Voronezh region is in the lead. The Tomsk region is the second largest, then followed by the Sverdlovsk region, and they outpace the market average. The statement that the Russian internet is not just about Moscow, it's also about the regions. It has been proved by that. Another anniversary that I want to mention is the 25th anniversary of the .rf ccTLD. For a quarter of a century, we and our partners have been ensuring smooth operation of the internet in our domain zones. This forum is not about the present times, it's about the future. The agenda is going to be quite busy. One of the sections will be devoted to preserving the cultural code and the multilingual diversity. We will be talking about the .rf domain. It's the largest IDN domain in the world. And last year, we celebrated the 15th anniversary of the domain .rf. The .rf domain is supporting the indigenous people's languages, and this is what we're going to be discussing during one of the sections. And let's move on to the opening ceremony because it sets the pace for the agenda. We will give the floor to those who shape the policy for the industry. Given the forum specifics, we will be talking about the priorities, challenges, and what's even more important, the prospects of cooperation both within Russia and internationally. I'd like to pass on the floor to Tatiana Matveyeva to kickstart the forum. She is head of an executive office for the development of information and communication technologies and communications infrastructure. Tatiana, the floor is yours. You can remain seated or you can come out here. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. As was mentioned before, this is the 16th Russian Internet Governance Forum, and this venue has always been attended by the public officials, the private sector, the businesses, to discuss the most relevant issues pertaining to the ongoing status and outlook of internet development. And globally speaking, as of today, over 130 million, and that's 93% of the Russian population, are internet users. And as of the present time, we have developed one of the most advanced and stable digital environment in the world, which allows us to cover both large cities and small villages alike. And, let me share with you some facts and figures, if you don't mind, to cover the ongoing situation. And these facts and figures pertain to the digital sovereignty and internet governance. We are in the top three jointly with China and the US to have developed a comprehensive digital sovereignty. And to a large extent, it includes various search engines, e-government, mail services, mobile app stores, national payment systems, national social media, video hosting services, and so on and so forth. All of these things allow us to state that as part of the Russian part of the internet, we have established a sovereign digital large-scale ecosystem that allows us to be quite confident about the future and it will allow us to further develop and improve our services. As for the search engines, naturally Yandex is in the lead. As compared to Google, the daily audience exceeds 50 million people. The content market, to a large extent, is represented by Russian platforms such as VK Video and RuTube. The RuViki digital library is being actively developed. About 78% of the internet traffic in Russia is about videos, and short videos are in the lead. The SMM market capacity is about 65 billion Russian rubles, and the growth rates are 35% year over year. Marketplaces such as Ozon and Wildberries are in the lead. And the Rus Store, an app store that was established in 2022 as a response to the sanctions imposed on Russia, is now being used by Russian nationals on a daily basis. About 68 million Russian nationals use it on a daily basis, and the store offers 160,000 apps from different countries. And Russia is in the top three countries as far as the sovereign currency is, digital sovereignty is concerned. 111 million users have registered in the Max Messenger, and it offers services in 140 countries across the world. In 2025, only 3 million messages were sent in Max on a daily basis. Right now, this figure amounts to 1.4 billion messages per day. And it goes to show you that it's one of the records across the world as far as the growth rates of a national messenger is concerned. In 2025, well, actually, 2025 was a definite success for the Russian internet. According to RIGF, the RUNET economy grew at a rate of over 30 million Russian rubles. And for 5 years in a row, the country has remained a leader in terms of e-commerce growth rates. From 2021 until 2024, the growth rates on average were 33%. And in 2025, according to experts, the growth rates were as high. Another interesting figure I want to share with you. In 2025, buyers carried out over 8 billion purchases in various e-stores. And compared to the international market, the Russian digital market shows advanced growth rates through the marketplaces. Another important component of the digital sovereignty are the solutions pertaining to the information security. And this segment is growing actively as well. We're talking about a growth rate of 20 to 25% according to various experts. It goes without saying that given the ongoing geopolitical situation, the high-tech solutions pertaining to information security prove their worth in a real environment, and they are in demand in the international market by the international community, which allows us to export our information security solutions. Another important thing to mention is something that you have already touched upon, which is national language support. And digital sovereignty is impossible without paying due attention to Russian and other indigenous languages in use in Russia. Therefore, this issue is of paramount importance. So right now, we have registered over 2,000 domains that use characters of various indigenous Russian languages, indigenous Russian people's languages, and this is something that we should focus on in the future. I cannot but mention artificial intelligence. It goes without saying that AI is one of the large-scale ongoing trends. Of course, AI is both a challenge on the other hand, and on the other hand, it offers multiple new opportunities. I believe that balancing the AI regulation is something that we will be discussing during the day. The Russian government is currently discussing a bill that is designed to address some of the complex issues pertaining to artificial intelligence. And I believe that it's important to emphasize the trusted technologies and AI models, especially generative AI models. So that should definitely reflect the values and the cultural code of the Russian Federation. Of course, AI models should comply with applicable Russian laws. All these issues are being actively discussed by the Russian government. Another important thing I want to touch upon is the use of AI by the younger generation. I believe that it's worth discussing the risks stemming from preserving the cognitive abilities of our kids, because parents are concerned about that. If you take a look at the public opinion polls, you'll see that parents are concerned about preservation of cognitive abilities. A third of parents are concerned about cognitive abilities being impaired by the neural networks. And this is one of the issues that will be discussed at this forum. Preserving cognitive sovereignty is another important part that deserves our attention. And in conclusion, I just wanted to mention that the capacity and the potential of the high-tech solutions is of utmost importance. Our solutions are competitive, they're of high quality, and as part of our export relations, we will be happy to share our knowledge and backlog. In September 2026, we plan to host the second Global Digital Forum, and this venue will become a platform to discuss these relevant issues with our international partners. We will be discussing digital technology development, their proposals, initiatives, risks, and opportunities linked to further development of our digital solutions. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, and I wish you every success and a successful forum. Thank you so much, Tatiana, and I just wanted to add, as far as digitalization is concerned, we have already started digitizing indigenous languages in our domain zones. And of course, we deal with interpreters, translators, for instance, Yandex is one of the partners who translates everything into indigenous languages. The same who also digitizes as well. CCTLD plan to introduce amendments to regulatory indigenous languages in Russia, and will focus on other official well, it's formed by representative global, like on the Chingiz volunteering secretariat for the Internet Governance Forum.
Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, it is a pleasure to address you on the occasion of the 16th Russian Internet Governance Forum. At the outset, I would like to congratulate the Multi-Stakeholder Organizing Committee and the entire community for convening this important forum in Moscow and online, bringing together stakeholders from the government, the private sector, the technical community, academia, and civil society is never a small task, and it reflects a strong and continued commitment to inclusive dialogue on the future of the digital space. This meeting takes place at a pivotal moment for the global digital governance ecosystem. Following the historic decision of the United Nations General Assembly to establish the Internet Governance Forum as a permanent body of the United Nations, there is a renewed mandate to strengthen inclusive, cooperative, and dialogue-based approaches to governing digital technologies. Furthermore, this milestone reflects a clear recognition that the challenges and opportunities of digital transformation can only be effectively addressed through multi-stakeholder collaboration, a value-based approach that the IGF has been fostering and implementing for over 2 decades. Your agenda over the next 2 days reflects this reality in a comprehensive and forward-looking manner. The discussions on the WSIS Plus 20 process you will have are critical as they provide an important opportunity to reflect on a quarter century of building the information and knowledge society, and importantly, to consider how we advance our approach to turning commitments into actions. In this framework, focusing on emerging technologies such as AI or quantum computing as both drivers of progress and sources of societal and economic divides reflects the profound need to anticipate and address their longer-term implications through multi-stakeholder governance. I also look forward to understanding your views on the importance of preserving cultural and linguistic diversity in the digital environment, ensuring that digital transformation does not come at the expense of identity and heritage. Indeed, the importance of local content has been at the center of the IGF's deliberations for years. Discussions on using and governing digital technologies go hand in hand with strengthening safety and security, protecting users, especially the most vulnerable, and ensuring that digital development remains grounded in internationally recognized human rights, trust, and inclusiveness. Ladies and gentlemen, the digital landscape has never been more complex than it is today. While fortunate, more people are connected than ever before, digital divides are widening as technologies advance, particularly between the global north and the global south. In this context, national and regional IGFs play a critical role. They serve as essential platforms for translating global debates into local realities, enabling stakeholders to exchange perspectives, identify priorities, and contribute meaningfully to the broader international dialogue. Your forum is an important part of this global ecosystem, helping to ensure that diverse experiences and approaches are reflected in shaping the future of global digital governance. As we move forward in this new phase of the IGF, there is a shared responsibility to build on this momentum. This includes continued stakeholder engagement and cooperation, including through the mechanisms of the national and regional IGFs, schools on internet governance, the IGF's intersessional work and capacity development activities, all of which contribute to making the IGF more impactful, inclusive, and relevant. Thank you once again for your good work, and I wish you insightful discussions and a successful forum.
We'd like to thank Chingitai Masanga, who visited our forum multiple times. By the way, our forum is the oldest one in Eurasia. The Russian Internet Governance Forum, as was mentioned by Chengetai, is part of a very important global internet governance ecosystem. And the forum reports can be found at the website of the global IGF. I'd like to remind you once again that our conference is convened in 2 languages, Russian and English. Simultaneous interpretation is available both online and in this conference hall. You can follow us in English if you want to. And by the way, Chingitai Masango mentioned that this forum brings together various representatives of the society. And lawmakers play an important part both in the global IGF and the Russian IGF. Lawmaking agenda is one of the key things that ensures stability of the industry. I'd like to pass on the floor to Sergei Boyarsky, Chairman of the State Duma Committee on Information Policy, Information Technologies, and Communications. Sergei, the floor is yours. Thank you so much. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure to address all the participants in the Russian Internet Governance Forum. And as for the governance part, governance is always a complicated matter. Different countries have different approaches. Internet is a trans-border phenomenon. However, we need to set up safe perimeters within the global internet. There are parts of the world where safety is better. There are parts of the world where the internet is more open. It's a complex task that we are trying to collectively settle. There were multiple stories about internet governance and some scandals pertaining to that. However, we've been working on Federal Law 241 for years on end. The work was done 6 years ago, and now we're enforcing Federal Law 241. And well, let me give you a simple example. We don't get surprised by traffic rules, right? Because they ensure our safety on the road. They are there for our convenience. And the internet is as dangerous as road traffic if it doesn't have any rules. It's especially true for young kids and older people. And well, let me give you the following analogy. Imagine that the Russian-made cars follow traffic rules. For instance, they have license plates. They would stop when demanded by the traffic police. They would let the pedestrians pass and cross the roads, while foreign-made cars, which might be convenient, might be bright, and so on and so forth, would not follow the rules. For instance, Land Rover might drive on the wrong side of the road, as they do in the UK. We can hardly imagine a situation like this. Therefore, this is what we need to do online. Everyone should follow the same rules, and everyone should comply with applicable laws, be it Russian laws or other sovereign power. The Max Messenger, for instance, recently launched, and all the laws pertaining to the use of the national messenger and the form have been advanced. Our party maker does utmost to comply. And of course, we are also ensure stability of the national messenger. Not only do we provide the tools for the law enforcers, but also tools for self-defense and self-protection. And we recommend that all the tools in the toolbox provided by the applicable Russian laws should be used. For instance, self-ban on taking out a loan, different accounts for the e-government, for banks, and these are the things that we should be discussing both with the teenagers and the older generation. Please share this information at various venues so that we can cover and protect as many people as possible so that they do not fall prey to fraud online. And in conclusion, because I see that my time is almost up, I'd like to state that in late May, the Russian State Duma will host hearings on AI governance and regulation, and we hope that by that time we will be able to develop a bill currently being worked on by the Russian government. We do understand that it's going to be a framework bill. However, there are multiple things that we'd like to discuss. And of course, we will invite both the practitioners and regulators to attend this meeting. We will also invite people who are concerned about AI and those who believe that AI is the future. Of course, it's high time we discussed regulation of AI. It's going to be a very complex task, because if we overregulate AI, we will hinder the development, and we cannot afford to lose the AI race, because military technologies are also based on AI. But on the other hand, we need to protect the Russian population, and we cannot just enable the large corporates and businesses to use AI whenever and wherever they want. Of course, regulators need to respond to that. So I wish you a very successful forum. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sergey. It's worth mentioning that AI regulation and AI governance and different approaches to that is something that we will be discussing in a separate section during this forum. I'd like to thank your committee for the fact that in late December, you approved and signed a law on introducing identification of domain name owners through the e-government portal. And at the Russian Internet Governance Forum, we've been discussing this issue for 2 years. And people complained about the slow process, but finally we have the bill. And by the 1st of June, all the bylaws will be signed, and starting on the 1st of September, everything is going to be enforced. Now I'd like to pass on the floor to Alexander Shoitov, Deputy Minister of Digital Development, Communications and Mass Media. Alexander, the state policy in digitalization is impossible without your ministry. The floor is all yours. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure to welcome all the participants to the RIGF 2026 forum. Indeed, Russia keeps on rolling out digital and advanced high-tech technologies. We're talking about AI and big data primarily. Simultaneously with that, we see attacks, digital attacks on Russia. For instance, large-scale online attacks, cyber fraud attacks, which are also coordinated, and misinformation and disinformation of our nationals. Hackers, cyber criminals, and extremists use advanced technologies, including AI. The public authorities undertake systemic measures to combat such actions. We have approved laws on critical information infrastructure that should use national software, and of course we have a list of approved firmware, approved software. We are improving the computer attacks and hack attacks techniques. And Sergey already mentioned that last year we approved the anti-fraud law. It's been enforced.
In the first reading, another set of measures have already been adopted. I'm going to identify some other measures that have already been put forward, like requirements towards hosting providers in terms of identification of domain names registrars. And in the second package, we've included the national security certificates for websites, software, and corporate certificates, implementation of domestic cryptography to heighten the stability. And in the future, we expect an ecosystem, a trusted ecosystem to emerge. These measures improve stability of the Russian information infrastructure and artificial intelligence, big data. These technologies are prone with additional risks. The ministry, together with the consortium for the research in artificial intelligence safety, have identified key technical approaches, including safe development of AI and various playgrounds to test it. So there is now a version of a draft law on artificial intelligence, and indeed a balance, a good balance between accelerated development and safety and security is being researched. The idea is to develop trusted AI technologies that can be embedded in critical infrastructure. And another important aspect is countering fake information, deep fakes in particular. I will be talking about that during my presentation at the plenary session in more detail. Right now, what's important is to consolidate the efforts of the government and of the business. So it's great that we are hosting today this forum, and I wish all participants a very productive day. Thank you very much, Alexander. We talk about the foundation of infrastructure, and we usually name the technical community, the business, and the government. So today we've invited a representative of the industry, Alexey Rogzev, Director General of the Technical Center of Internet, the operator of .ru, the national domain zone. Mr. Rogzev, the floor is yours. Thank you very much. Thank you for the chance to speak at this forum. It's a wonderful spring day outside, not too much sun, but the spring is in the air. Colleagues, today RUNET is an important part of the societal infrastructure. Our infrastructure is quite young, it's relatively young. It's only about 35 years old, and my children can't imagine their lives without internet. They are little kids, but they have always lived in an internet environment. And during those years, internet developed as a self-evolving system, and the users and the technical community build a living ecosystem built on trust and common interests. The Internet Technical Center is a member of this community, and we made our contribution into the infrastructure development. In the last 30 years, we came up with the key principles of the internet development. There should be space for freedom and innovation, and there should also be shared standards. And at the same time, we should not neglect stability and security. Today, the industry is entering its mature phase. New norms are being put forward that become legislation and that enable the trusted infrastructure. It's a natural stage. The internet in Russia is becoming an institution based on rules and predictable logic. We expect this stage to strengthen the whole system, make it transparent and easy to understand for all participants, for the technical community, for the government, for the businesses, for all stakeholders. So it's very important to maintain the culture of openness and cooperation that has always been a selling feature of the Russian internet, and at the same time ensure technological and legal stability. I'm sure that the discussions at this forum will provide us with new insights for points of growth, points of development, and to come to an agreement about subsequent steps to develop the internet as a trusted and a reliable digital space. Thank you. Thank you, Alexey. And now To conclude the opening ceremony, I pass the floor to Andrei Kuzmichov, head of the Runity Group. Runity has been a standing partner of our forum for years. You are one of the key players in the hosting and domain name registrations market. The changes that we're discussing here are not possible without active involvement of the market participants. There is the ministry, there is the legislators' activity, but are the users ready to accept the changes? Good morning, and colleagues. Thank you very much, Andrei, for introducing me. .ru is celebrating 32 years of self-regulation, and right now, these days, we are undergoing a major transformation. The rules under which Russian domain name space is operated is now becoming legislation, setting requirements to the space itself and to its members. Runity is an active part of this community. We are getting ready for the change. At the start of April, we started notifying domain name registrars and legal entities, including individuals could go through identification during a special planned project that we organized 2 years ago together with the ministry and TCI. In March, we started communicating actively with our registrars. Runity incorporates RU Center. They are major registrars for .ru and .rf. At the start of April, 31,000 customers, individuals were identified. They went through the identification procedure. And in the last week, more than 1,000 legal entities confirmed their status of a domain name registrar. We are starting from scratch, basically, and it's a good result. At the same time, we've got 2.5 million domain name registrars in .rf and .ru. It means that there is still a lot of work ahead of us. Based on current rules, the rules of notification, they come into effect as of the 1st of September, and it means that we only have that many months left. So I call upon all registrars, the mass media, the public institutions and organizations to engage with the registrars to push them towards registration. We want this transformation to go as smoothly as possible. Technically, everything works fine. And this draft law has been in discussion for years, really. There is a lot of phishing pressure. There is a lot of pressure from fraud. So it's very important to make sure that the rule space is a trusted space. Thank you. Let's get to work. Thank you very much. I think we can thank our esteemed speakers.